welcome to Arnav. Today is the 12th episode in the history series. So today we are going to discuss about another civilization, of course, which is the Celtic Europe civilization. It was not like a civilization but like a group of tribes, a sub-civilization. But yeah. So the ancient Celts were people that lived in tribes across ancient mainland Europe and the British Isles, which means the places which are occupied by the UK or the Great Britain, which means England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland and Ireland. While Ireland is not actually controlled by Britain, it is like another country, but it's still counted as the British Isles. Yeah, so Celtic civilization was at its height between the 6th and 1st century BCE. And remember, this Celtic Europe didn't stay there until only the 1st century BC, but they stayed there for more after the 1st century BCE, like in the 300s AD. Yeah, they were defeated then, like in the 400s or 500s. So the word Celt comes from Keltoi, the Greek word for people who lived across the continent of Europe. Yes, they had just words for those sentences. Yes, yeah. So the Romans called Celts Galli, which means barbarians, or they also call them Gauls. Yeah. And also many countries or some states got their name from these. So the Galicia, which is a province in Spain, comes from this Galli. Yes, Galicia, Galli. And also a small part of Poland is also called this Galicia. Like Eastern Galicia, it's like in Central Europe, not exactly in Poland. Yeah, so it is like in Ukraine, like the southwest of Ukraine. It's there, so you can see in Google Maps. Yeah, so the Celts lived in the 100s of tribes. That means there were hundreds of thousands of tribes they had, and they did not see themselves as a single people. So that means they saw themselves as many people. Yeah, there were many people in the Celtic Europe, not only one main type, but most of them followed some things. Like some people had one god, which like one god is the same over them, even if they had thousands or hundreds of gods they worshipped. Yeah, so they will follow the same god sometimes. Yeah, that means these have the same god like that. Yeah, so there were customs. So despite this, they shared common religious beliefs and customs, and many were skilled artists. They created richly patterned metalwork. Beautiful. Yeah, they were beautiful. So their languages such as Welsh and Gaelic are still spoken today by people who see themselves as Celts. Yeah, there are many types of Gaelic, like Scottish Gaelic. Like one Gaelic is like in North America, not in Europe. So it is Spanish Gaelic. I mean Haitian Gaelic. Yes, it is somewhere in North America in the Caribbean. Yeah, in the country of Haiti. Yeah, so they speak it here. And Welsh is now spoken by, of course, the Welsh people in Wales. Yeah. So okay. Next. So their languages such as Welsh and Gaelic are there. So now let's see a small timeline of this Celtic Europe, or exactly their culture's timeline. So first is the Urnfield culture. The people of the Urnfield culture, which was there from 1300 to 750 BC, were the ancestors of the Celts and lived in East Central Europe and Northern Italy. That means these were not the Celtish people, but were the ancestors of them, like the great grandparents of them. Next is the Hallstatt culture, the first true Celtic culture. According to the modern historians, is this Hallstatt culture only. So These people grew rich by trading, particularly in the salt they mined. Lots of salt. Tasty. But yeah, it can be used as a seasoning in many things. Yeah, that means it was great. And so they were known for its bronze weapons and geometrical patterns. The culture spread across Europe. Yeah. And also they made a necklace which was like from this to this. Very big. I still don't know how they wore that thing. Yeah. So, and the final Celtic culture is the Latin culture. Latin. So, it was named after Latin in Switzerland, which is like a lake in Switzerland. So, there were Celts who threw many gold and bronze items into the lake as offerings. And also, unlike the Hallstatt culture, which made like geometrical patterns, that means only squarish or triangular, but these Latin culture people made circle things. Yes, circle patterns. Yeah, so that was it. So Celtic life. So now we'll see what was a life from a person from a Celtic tribe. So they were ruled by chieftains and kings and queens. Yes, 3 people rule one tribe. Yeah. So different classes in Celtic societies. Yes, there were many different classes like in many countries. Not today, but there were once some empires which used these classes. Yeah. So they also kept slaves who had been captured in warfares. So they lived in circular homes, a single round large room. Yes, a big room. So I'll show it. So this was the house from a top. So we have a kitchen like that there, and anything. Here can be the door. Here can be some seating area. Here can be some beds. Yeah, it can be like that. Yeah. Okay. So the difference between rich and poor Celts was the size of their round house. So while poor people had smaller houses and rich people had bigger houses. Yeah. And they could have double doors, but they still only have one door only. Yeah. Not 2 doors. Okay, so the Celtic religion. Celts worshipped many hundreds of gods. Yeah, hundreds of gods. Not just 1 or 2. Hundreds of thousands.
As like Hindus.
Yes, as like many other religions. Like Hinduism or many others. Yeah. So, okay. So, different groups had their own gods. Yes. So, Celts offer precious gifts to their gods in rivers, lakes, and pools. Not swimming pools. They didn't have them by them. Yeah. So they gave them in rivers. Just throw their gold into rivers. One shield was found in a river of them. A bronze shield which came from the Latin culture. Lakes like the Latin lake, which is in Switzerland, and pools, not swimming pools, a reminder.
Why?
Because they did that too, because they thought that God was there. God took those things. It was like a offer, sacrifice like thing. Yeah. So, okay, animals and people were also killed in an elaborate ways and offered as sacrifices. Yes, many cultures had these then. They did so many sacrifices, including the Aztec Empire, which also did them, which was there in Mexico, like then, in North America. But now this Aztec Empire is not there. Yeah. Okay. So Romans eventually conquered most of Celtic Europe. Yes, lots of them. But still these Celtic people had some place in Europe. the Romans left them some place before just down. Yes, before leaving all of Europe and being gone. Yeah. So between 58 and 51 BC, the Roman general Julius Caesar conquered Gaul, which is France, in a series of many wars. And after these wars and after his success, he became the emperor of Rome. Yes, he was promoted from general to an emperor, who was more than a king, I think. Yeah, he was like a king. So, in 43 BC, an army of Roman Empire Claudius invaded Britain. Yes, in 43 CE, that means AD. Yeah, so they took Britain, but not all of Britain. They just took England and Wales. That's it. So, I'll show a diagram. Wait a second. So, houses get erased. We don't need you anymore. So, for example, this is the mainland of this Europe. So this is the British Isles. My drawing is a bit bad. So, and here is Ireland. So this was Roman, and this upper part is not Roman. Very simple. So this island was also not Roman because it was still not taken by Rome. Very simple to understand. So, by 84 CE, the Romans ruled most of Britain. That means up to this part, like this part, a bit more higher. Yeah. So, yeah, that is what Celtic Europe is. So, this is for today about Celtic Europe. Bye.